Better Call Saul instantly tells the audience what type of show it aims to be. We wait 8 minutes before the first key line of dialogue.
Oh, to be 19 again.
Usually the first few minutes of a pilot are for hooking the audience, but Better Call Saul instantly establishes itself as a show that's in no rush. This is further shown in the fact that Kim Wexler, an integral part of the series, isn't shown until 30 minutes into the first episode. The pilot sets up the theme for the whole series. It's about quiet moments that define who we are and shape who we become. Silent scenes. This is one of my favourite Kim and Jimmy scenes in the whole show, yet not a single word is shared between them. So how does this silent moment tell us so much? We watch as Jimmy is playing with the bottle over the balcony. He's testing the limits while watching Kim's reaction. Then Kim grabs a bottle and throws it over. This is a key scene that establishes their personalities. Jimmy is always trying to test the waters, whereas Kim snaps, just like she does when they make the plan against Howard.
We're talking about a career setback.
Another small detail I love about this is that in the following episode we see Kim clean up their mess. Again, it feels like foreshadowing to when she returns to Albuquerque to apologise to Howard's wife. She tries to clean up the mess of her actions, where for the most part, Jimmy doesn't care.
So if you want to make more money and keep the money that you make, Better Call Saul!
Chris McCaleb does an excellent job at making slow scenes feel deliberate and important. He doesn't rush the scene or open straight on the action. Instead, we see the whole moment play out, from Kim joining Jimmy to them rushing away from prying eyes, helping us have a further understanding for the reasons behind their actions. In Season 4, Episode 7, we have a brilliant sequence of Jimmy in Kim's office. Now, you wouldn't usually see this scene in any other show, because when you review an episode, this is the type of scene that would get cut. It doesn't pull the story forward or even have any lines of dialogue, so why does Skip McDonald keep it in? Well, it tells us everything we need to know about Jimmy. He takes time measuring the length of the room because how people perceive his success is important, and having a large office shows others what you have achieved. He studies her awards. Jimmy enjoys being recognised for the work he has done. He likes to show off and so glances at her awards in an almost jealous-like way. Camera angles. Once Jimmy leaves the office and rejoins the group, you will notice that the editors don't use a single close-up. The reason for this is because what Jimmy is saying, or his facial expressions, isn't anywhere near as important as the way people around are perceiving him. If we had only used close-ups, then we wouldn't have gotten looks from Kim as she braces herself at Jimmy's attempt at a joke. Even with shots like this, when you can't see Jimmy's face, he is always in frame, serving as a constant reminder that Rick's sympathetic smiles and the looks of concern are all aimed at Jimmy. Bagman is one of the highest rated episodes in the show, and for good reason, so how does Skip McDonald help immerse us into the action that's happening on screen? Well, this is thanks to the camera angles he has chosen to use. We start with a wide shot, letting the audience understand where each character is and how surrounded Saul has become. As the action begins to build, we move to handheld shots. The reason for this is that it pulls us into the action. We feel as though we are part of the scene compared to just a viewer. The editors keep us on the edge of our seat as the car slowly pulls up. We move to a wide shot and then an aerial view as the figure gets closer to Saul, keeping us in the dark as to their identity. The editors could have cut to Mike several times throughout this sequence, but it would have taken away from the suspense. Not having the audience know who is shooting leaves for a more immersive experience. Just like Saul, we are left confused and concerned. Are they here to kill him too?
You hit?
Then we hear Mike's familiar voice and can breathe a sigh of relief, but not until 4 minutes after the first gunshot. Montage sequences. Montages are a way for an editor to show the audience a large period of time over just a few minutes, and in Better Call Saul, each montage fits their characters perfectly, so let's take a look at a montage of Saul and a montage of Kim. We open the montage on a moving shot, giving us an idea of how popular Saul has become. The constant use of J-cuts helps the sequence flow smoothly between each of Saul's clients. J-cuts are where the audio from the next shot starts before we see it.
I'll talk to Howard. Pour a little oil on troubled waters. You're being wasted down in doc review.
An L cuts are when the dialogue continues into the next shot.
Off a drug dealer who got sprung today because he was using a drop phone that you sold him.
They are used to help blend scenes together and to create a more natural flow, and that is exactly what Chris McCaleb has done with the use of J-cuts in this montage.
Before we talk phones, let's talk you. I'm guessing that you ladies are popular with the fellas.
Sometimes the same line of dialogue connects 2 or 3 different characters. implying that Saul is somewhat reading from a script.
See right there, circled in red? Pre-programmed, ready to go. Number 1 on the speed dial goes directly to me. You press that, and poof, I'm there.
Delivering similar speeches to each of his clients further demonstrates his performative side. The pacing of the montage begins to speed up. We cut rapidly between each angle and sentence until soon Saul's dialogue is overlapping the other.
Ask him about the magic. Press the button, and boom, your friend Saul is there. I got your back, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Leading us to feel like Saul, exhausted. Unlike Jimmy, Kim works hard away from prying eyes. This montage perfectly encapsulates being a lawyer in a male-dominated industry. The editor has chosen very specific moments for the audience to hear.
No, not a secretary. I'm an attorney.
This shows the difficulty Kim is facing as a female lawyer, and all helps us to understand her choices and actions. A big difference between these montages are the speeds of cuts. Jimmy's is fast and chaotic, whereas Kim's is slow, a technique that helps further understanding of these characters. A criticism of Better Call Saul is that the pacing is too slow, and so you may watch this scene and think, does it need to be 3.5 minutes? Well, I think yes. It shows how relentless and hard-working Kim is, even when she isn't seeing a result. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of Better Call Saul's brilliant editing, so I might do a part 2 at some point, but for now, hopefully this gives you an insight into how the editors have influenced our perception of the characters.